Well, hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Manta. Happy holidays. And in today's video, guys, I have a very simple and delicious white cake slash peppermint cake for you guys. It is a delicious cake with lots of great texture and a homemade buttercream frosting and lots of peppermint flavors. Holiday perfect. If this is something you are interested in, then please do keep on watching. Welcome back, friends. So I'm keeping this really simple today. I will be using a Duncan Hines perfectly moist classic white cake mix. I will be doctoring it up as usual because we do not follow instructions over here. So please don't follow the instructions on the back of the box. Just follow this recipe and you will love it. Now I am going to be adding a 3.4 ounce pack of white chocolate instant pudding mix. This is going to add so much flavor to it and richness. Those are our dry ingredients, so in goes our cake mix and also our white chocolate. We want to keep this as white as possible. That's why I am making these choices today. So always try to remember what you want to get at the end of the day, okay? And that will influence your choices. So just whisk that together to get it all incorporated, and those are our dry ingredients. Now we will move on. In a separate bowl, I am going to start off with 5 egg whites. Now the recipe calls for 3 egg whites, but because I'm adding so much stuff, I am going to be doing 5 egg whites. So I added 2 extra. So just separate the yolk and put that on the side. Then go in with a hand mixer, stand mixer, anything you have, or even a whisk. But a whisk would take longer though, because it takes time for the egg whites to start foaming up and all of that. Alright, so you want to go in and beat this until it foams up. It does not have to come to stiff peaks. Just once it gets foamy and all of that, we could move on to the next step, which is some heavy whipping cream. I have 1 cup of heavy whipping cream to replace the water in the recipe. Okay, heavy whipping cream, we know once you start whisking it, it also gets light and fluffy, so it would add to the texture of this cake at the end. So you just want to beat the egg white and the heavy whipping cream until they foam. So this takes about maybe 5 to 6 minutes. Okay, so once we get all of that, I always like to go in and scrape the sides of my bowl and just get everything incorporated, and then I will go ahead and mix for the remainder of the time. Now for flavoring, I am going to be adding 1 teaspoon of clear vanilla because I want to keep the cake as white as possible, and I'm also going in with 1 teaspoon of peppermint flavor. You're also going to need 1 stick of melted butter, which is an equivalent of a half a cup of butter, and I'm using my Kerrygold unsalted butter for all the richness and great flavor that it adds. So go ahead and combine all those ingredients. At this point, you just want to mix to combine and nothing else. Okay, now I'm going to be adding our flour mixture gradually. So I only added maybe half of it at first, and then I beat it to incorporate it. You don't want to overbeat at this point. We're just trying to mix everything together. So half of the flour goes in, mix it together, and dump in the rest of our dry mixture. Okay, and then just increase your speed a little bit after you incorporate everything. Bump up your speed to medium high and beat it for an additional 2 minutes, and your batter is going to be nice and very airy. This, if you know a white cake, it always has this great crumbly texture and very rich because of the egg whites. Egg whites just enhances the fluffiness of a cake. So scraping the sides of your bowl as usual, beat this on medium high speed for about 2 minutes, and our batter is done. Now your oven should be preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And now it's time to bake a cake. I am using a fluted pan today, and let me tell you, this recipe is perfect for layering because I do get a lot of that, a lot of those questions all the time. So this is one recipe that you can actually layer, and I think a white cake just looks perfect when you layer it. But I'm using this pan today, just keeping it simple. So pour in all your batter. As you can see, it has a great texture to it already. So once you get all of that, we're going to be baking today at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and you want to do this for about 40 minutes. You always want to insert a toothpick in the middle, and when it comes out dry, then your cake is done. Make sure to level up your batter so that it could bake as evenly as possible, and also shake it a little bit, pop it, drop it, release all them air bubbles, and into our oven it goes. And I will be right back to show you what it looks like. And we do have so many people that joined the Mansa team, and I want to give you guys a warm welcome to the Mansa team. Okay, now here is a cake fresh out of the oven, and guys, let me tell you, that peppermint flavor in the oven was divine, so beautiful. So my cake is done, but I want to let it sit down to cool all the way down to room temperature, and in the meantime I'm gonna make a very quick buttercream frosting. So in a tall bowl, because it's going to be very messy, you are going to need 2 sticks of butter, which is an equivalent of 1 cup of butter. You can use either salted or unsalted, but if you do use unsalted, you have to add some salt to it. I am opting for some salted butter, and make sure they are at room temperature. So you're going to add that to your bowl, and then you want to go ahead with your hand mixer and just cream that up. It's already soft, so this should not take a long time. It should be really quick. That's why it's important to use butter at room temperature. And always, like I usually say, please use high quality butter if you want your baked goods to come out really nice and taste like it just came out of somebody's bakery. Okay, so once we get that butter all creamed up, I will add in 2.5 cups of confectioner's sugar. This is just regular powdered sugar. So 2.5 cups of that to soften butter. And guys, at this point, you just want to whip away. Just whisk it. I am whisking on medium high speed because you want this to be nicely incorporated and very soft. To my buttercream, I will be adding half a teaspoon of vanilla extract and 1/4 of a teaspoon of peppermint extract. I would also be going in with 2 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream. You can already imagine the texture and of course the taste of this. I started off with 1 tablespoon, but I ended up using 2 tablespoons. So don't be scared to use liquids. Now I am also going to be using some candy canes, and I just put them together in a Ziploc bag and just beat it with my rolling pin to form a crushed candy cane. Now you can see it has a lot of dust in it, so I'm going to go in with a very fine mesh strainer and just strain out all the really fine peppermint dust that's in there, because I don't really need it. I just really need the little slightly bigger chunks. So just go ahead and just sift that nicely, and this will simply get rid of the dust, which you could do anything you want to do with. But we're going to be using this crushed peppermint to garnish our cake at the end, and let me tell you, this is such a perfect combination and so holiday perfect. Nothing beats peppermint for Christmas. It's all peppermint and all the good stuff. So now here it is time to assemble. Here is my cake. It has now cooled down to room temperature, and now I'm gonna go ahead with my good buttercream frosting and just frost this cake. Another option, if you do not like buttercream, I'm not really a fan of buttercream. I prefer whipped cream, but you could also do whipped cream frosting with this, and it will be really nice and even more airy and lighter. If you're enjoying this video, please go ahead and support your girl by hitting on that like button, that thumbs up. It lets me know what type of videos you like, and it just supports my channel in general. It is free of charge. So now that I'm all done frosting my cake, I am going to go in and just sprinkle the crushed candy cane all over. Now you don't have to be as heavy-handed as I am. I am doing it more for the aesthetics because it just looks more prettier, but you could go in with as little as you want. It just adds a nice pop of color to it. So once we get all that together, this is the final result, and let me tell you, it just does not look beautiful. It is also so delicious, and we're not even going to talk about the texture of the cake. So of course, I got to do it justice. I would cut up a slice, and we will see what it looks like on the inside. So here we go, guys. Look at that. So perfectly done, and you could see the crumbs. It almost looks like a pound cake, but it is not. It is not even close to a pound cake because it is not as dense. Remember, we only use egg whites, so it is so light and has a nice crumbly texture to it. Really delicious. another favorite of mine. So you could take that from me. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and please have a happy holidays. Spend time with your loved ones. Reach out to a loved one. Tell them you love them. And look at that as I cut into it. This is a really nice cake. I do love it, and I hope you do give it a try. And as usual, give me some feedback in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until I catch you in my next one, have a good one and happy holidays.